Whenever there's a discussion about the sexual objectification of women, men are always to blame. If women are dressing really conservatively, it's men's fault because they're only covering up their skin to protect them from the creepy male gaze. If a woman dresses provocatively and shows off a lot of skin, men are also at fault because she's only doing that because she's forced to conform about male standards of beauty and to try and appeal to that same male gaze. So whatever she does, no matter how she dresses, it's men's fault. I want you to listen to the woman in this clip because it's extremely refreshing that in a conversation about the objectification of women, to actually have a woman acknowledge that women themselves may have some part to play in this. They may have some fault, some responsibility.
Why do women sometimes post provocative photos on social media?
A lot of the time to impress guys, and to impress girls, just to show like they're confident or like make other people feel intimidated by them. Yeah, just to show off their body, I guess.
I want to thank this woman for her honesty, for stating what we all know deep inside ourselves is true, but for some reason society is reluctant to acknowledge. Women are competitive. They are just as competitive as men. They may express it differently. They may be better at hiding it, but they are absolutely competitive. So, when women are getting all dressed up for an evening, they're putting on clothes that are going to show off their butts, their legs, their tits. They're putting on makeup. When women are posting partially nude photos of themselves on social media, yes, some of this is to attract the attention of men, but a lot of their motivation is to compete with other women. Evolutionary psychology teaches us about this phenomenon of intrasexual competition. What that means is competing within a gender, men competing against men and women competing against women. The reason for intrasexual competition is for mating supremacy. One man, if he beats out all the other men that he was competing with, well then he's the top male and he's going to have the mating partner of his choice. This is why women love the men at the top of society, the most powerful, wealthy, and famous men. It's because they've beaten all of the competition. They're on top. Now, men don't focus so much on who's the top woman. They're a little bit more inclined to follow their own judgment when it comes to mating choice. But this phenomenon still does apply. You can see this phenomenon play out with how many boys seem to disproportionately lust after the most popular girl in their high school. You know, the head cheerleader stereotype. Why is this? Is she necessarily the most beautiful, most desirable woman objectively? Not necessarily, but she's sort of acknowledged universally to be the best girl, and lots of boys want to be with the best girl. To occupy that slot as a woman, as the most desirable partner choice available, is a big incentive for them to compete with other women. We've all witnessed this. Women acting terribly to other women, lying, manipulating, backstabbing, stuff like that. Now, as a man, when you listen to the kind of insults that some women will throw at other women, it seems very strange, like very superficial and weird. They don't tend to criticize their character or their achievements. It's almost exclusively comments about her appearance. Oh, did you see her lips? Did you see her hair color? God, she's gotten so old, she's gotten so fat. Now, a lot of guys listen in on conversations like this, where women seem to just be constantly criticizing the appearance of other women, go sisterhood, and they conclude that women are superficial. They think, why are these women so obsessed with appearance? Why don't they criticize each other's ideas, their competencies? Why don't they argue over which woman is the smartest or the most successful? Why is it all about looks? Now, you can call women shallow if you want to, but if you do so, you're kind of missing the point. Because from an evolutionary point of view, there is a big reason why women compete over appearance more than anything else. And that's because that's what men focus on. Remember that the entire point of intrasexual competition is for mating rights. Women are competing with other women specifically over who is the more desirable mating choice. They've noticed the sort of things that men pay attention to: looks, youth. And so those are the things that they fight over. So women are in competition with other women. And this happens in two ways. Happens in self-promotion, and it also happens with disparaging competitors. With self-promotion, what that looks like is a woman taking good care of her appearance, making sure that she always looks good, updating her Instagram. What they're trying to do here is advertise their good qualities, demonstrating that they're a desirable mating choice. Doing it over social media might make this seem like it's some modern phenomena, that this is civilized in some way, but really it's guided by the exact same instincts that were guiding women hundreds of thousands of years ago, back in caveman days. It's a mating display. That's all it is. When you're scrolling through your Instagram feed, looking at women posting all of these selfies, showing off their face, showing off their bodies, you're just looking at a mating display. When it comes to the other part of female competition, the competitor disparagement, that's when you see all of the negative whispers, all of the rumors and insults. Mostly it's about appearance, but sometimes it's also about specific behaviors that would make a woman an undesirable mating choice. Things like slut shaming. The media and the radical feminists want to paint slut shaming as if it's this patriarchal attitude, as if men are doing all of these horrible things to women with their judgments. But slut shaming is primarily a female on female crime. Now, this intrasexual female competition can get really, really intense. Do you remember in high school how certain groups of girls would band together and form like alliances to take down other girls? Like, we're going to completely socially shun that woman, or we're all going to make negative comments about that girl's looks. What you're seeing is the competition. They're trying to take out the top competitors. Forgetting the ethics of it for a moment, from a purely evolutionary perspective, it makes sense, because if you eliminate the competition, then you have a better chance for yourself. So remember, if anybody tries to sell you this line that says that women only dress provocatively for men, the only reason they post partially nude photos of themselves on social media is for men, that they're talking nonsense. A huge part of the motivation is and always will be competition with other women.